does it in any way reduce the importance of the note which the government has been trying to downplay over the last 3 or 4 days, or does it actually in the process reaffirm the importance of the note from a legalistic point of view? Because Pranab Mukherjee's words are, this is a harmonized note based on facts to be used by various representatives of the government. He says, I don't agree. My view is that these inferences are wrong. But his views are not the last word.
No. The point is this. It is not a question of a person's personal perceptions or personal views. Inter-ministerial harmonized note is created. First of all, let's see, that is what I am saying, Arnab. This is an acknowledgement, first of all, of a fact that this decision, which is now today in serious challenge in the public domain, was a decision of the government. That is why you need a harmonized note which each ministry is saying its bit. Point number one. Point number two, the civil servants who work below the minister are the hands-on guys who run governments. Ministers take the final call and the final decision. If they have put together, if the civil servants have put together a bunch of facts as to how the ministries dealt with it, that has the highest credibility of the functioning of the government. Thirdly, it is not a matter of perception. What is stated there are facts. Who said what, who met whom, who took which decision, and it only confirms, lastly, to me as a lawyer, it confirms something which in any case to me is more or less a self-evident truth, namely that the decision to give this and this fashion was a government decision to which everybody was a party, whether actively supporting it or accepting.
How does this really work?
Done, and I not agree, but I will
including the Prime Minister, including the Prime Minister. But how does this then work for Mr. Chidambaram? Yes,
including the question we have to ask, and the question that we have never asked, and we are getting to now. It seems that this whole 2G matter, this auction versus first come first serve, that at the very highest levels of the government, starting from the Prime Minister, people knew that Mr. Raja was up to no good.
Yeah.
But for reasons, the most charitable explanation is coalition compulsions.
Yep.
They looked the other way.
Why?
But in this whole scam,
why?
The 2-3 big boys in the government, complicit is too strong a word, but they were aware what Mr. Raja was going to do, and they did nothing about it.
Yeah. You see, now my question to Manisha Priyam is, sorry Manisha for keeping you waiting, this is clearly a truce for the cameras. If Pranab Mukherjee had to say this, he could have said it earlier. Is he looking to you like a person who has said this under duress?
Well, it's not been under duress. What one can perceive of this is that this was a huge Machiavellian moment, because in politics what matters is not standards of justice or fairness, but appearances. And as far as appearances go, you could see in Mr. Vinod Mehta's statement that he said auction versus something else. Now the point is that this is not a binary decision of one party versus the other. This is not 2003 versus 2008. This is an evolutionary format in which things existed in one form till a particular point of time, and then you had another government that came in. The other government that came in also worked under executive rules of business. Now you cannot hide under the woods of saying that this is my coalition partner. All the ministers in the cabinet were working under executive rules of business. Now who was the person in charge? Who looked after when this kind of a thing was going on? But everybody knew that Mr. Raja was doing it. There was enough communication between the finance ministry and him. It is now established that interministerial committees also knew what was going on. Then what was it that was stopping what Mr. Raja was doing? I think that really remains the big question. You cannot go back to say that in parliamentary systems coalitions do not work, and Disraeli said that, you know, England does not like coalitions. The fact is that there is going to be a coalition. Is the minister from the coalition always going to be a veto member? That's the question. I mean, they cannot be running away with the public exchequer in this manner.
I don't know whether this is a question of veto. Okay, now you're looking at it. You're looking at it. You've laid it completely and only on Mr. Raja. Chandan Mitra wanted to come in. After that, I'm going to Jagdambika Park.
No, I want to come in. First of all, coalition dharma does not mean license to loot. You see, this is the most important thing to understand. Just because the Prime Minister had coalition compulsions, as some of your panelists are saying, doesn't mean that the Prime Minister looks the other way while there's a huge loot of the country's national resources, as Mr. Salve rightly pointed out. And you know, look at this, 2003, Mr. Mukherjee today, to my great surprise, brought in the issue of 2003. What was 2003? The policy that was decided was that in 2003, policy was that the DOT along with the Ministry of Finance will determine the value of spectrum. Where was the Ministry of Finance? Ministry of Finance was overruled, ignored. Mr. Raja cocked a snook and went ahead and told DOT, go ahead and this is going to be the price. How can you compare 2003 with 2008? This is loot, and the finance minister, then finance minister, acquiesced in this and changed his opinion and allowed Mr. Raja to run riot. Who is culpable? Who is guilty?
Okay, my question to Jagdambika Pal is, please respond, sir. I'd like you to respond to what the BJP representative has just said. Please go ahead, sir.
I think so. He is misleading to the country. We have never allowed to anybody for loot, and I think so. We have only courage to take actions against those who are culprits, against somebody has done irregularities either in 2G. I wanted to ask from Chandan, now whether on the basis of any note somebody will be taken into task, either he can be accountable, whether there are two things. This matter is already either in the court or this matter is looked by the JPC, because what they have demanded, just you listen me. Now CAG, whatever CAG has shown, now the revenue loss of 1,76,000. I think so. I am a member of PAC. I have gone through the CAG report. Whether CAG report has indexed to any finance ministry or the then finance minister, if in CAG report, in CAG report, if there is no index for any finance ministry or for finance minister, so how now they are saying, Ravi Shankar Prasad is still saying that now Mr. Chidambaram is accused, whether he is a judge, whether BJP is a judge, or whether court will decide who is a culpable, who is a culprit, who is accountable, and now even on the basis of the note, now court has to take decision. Now they are only just politicizing all the issue only just to some political gain. Otherwise, if JPC is already the process to look into matter for 2G, and already court this matter is already submitted to the court also. So what is the
Mr. Pal, 1 minute. The BJP wants to respond. But before that, BJP wants to respond. Mr. Pal, the BJP wants to respond to you now, but before that, I'm going to Mr. Salve. After that, Chandan Mitra, I'm coming straight back to you to respond to Mr. Pal. Yes, Mr. Salve.
Arunab, let's clear up a few things. The court, the criminal court, is not looking at the governance issue. I think for us as a nation, the Supreme Court has supervised an investigation. The investigation is going on. Let's forget about that. That's on its own steam now. The more important question is governance. The governance issue is not before any court. The governance issue is a matter which must be debated in public domain. And I think that's what we are all talking about. I am not very clear.
Governance issue will be decided in democracy by the people of this country. Mr. Harish, governance issue will be decided only by the people of this country. Governance issue, definitely it will not be decided by the court. In democracy,
assume we are all people of this country which are discussing it.
Or the JPC, JPC might be a forum which might be discussing how these decisions were taken.
Well,
and if the JPC indicts, will only one minister resign? Or will there be collective responsibility if the JPC indicts? Will only Mr. Raja be responsible, or will the entire cabinet be responsible if the JPC indicts?
I think so. They were not allowed to function the whole house for winter session. Only they were demanding for JPC. Now, even the BJP, whatever they have demanded, if government has formed JPC, Parliament has formed the JPC, and JPC looking into the matter, still PAC is already on process. The chairman of PAC, Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi. So, for one particular issue for 2G, if there are two committees will work together, so why they have have demanded JPC. If JPC will give some recommendations, and if PSC will recommend some recommendations, and if there
No, Mr. Pal, let's not complicate it.
Then what will be what?
No, let's not complicate it. I want Harish Salve to complete the point. I want Harish Salve to complete the point that I'm going to you, Dr. Mitra. 1 second, sir. Yes.
The point which I was coming to, Arnab, is a very important point. Today, as we discuss this, I am not even sure of what the government's position is. Do they accept that not auctioning it was a wrong decision, or do they insist that not auctioning it was a right decision? We are in a very piquant situation where one wing of the government, that is the investigative wing, the CBI is prosecuting Raja and a band of industrialists and telling them, you are, one of the charges against you is you indulged in corruption of causing loss to the nation. The government started by saying there is no loss to the nation, and one of the reasons why the government finds itself in this predicament is it is taking an ambivalent position on whether or not Raja's decision not to auction it was right. Forget the first come first serve. Raja's decision to give it at 1600 crores, was that right or was it wrong? Initially the government said there was nothing wrong with it. The government said it was a very good thing to do. Are they holding that position? The trouble is they are speaking with different voices, and that's why they are in this mess.
I thought they are. I thought they are. Are you in any doubt? Because I thought the Prime Minister actually said that I thought that was the best thing to do in the interest of the country. I thought the Prime Minister did defend Mr.
Then why
Salve.
are they prosecuting Raja? Then why are they prosecuting Raja? I mean, this is something which baffles me no end. Today,
Because
virtually,
Raja
there is an
motives,
acceptance
sir.
in the
Mr.
interministerial note that
Raja had
something went wrong.
motives.
Why are we
Chandan
then
Mitra,
talking
I'm
of
just
the
playing devil's
huge
advocate.
national
They're
loss?
prosecuting Raja because Raja had
let
motives.
me
They
tell
didn't
you.
have motives. They believed.
No,
they
motive
believed
apart.
Mr. Raja.
Motive to do what? No, Arunabh, let's be very clear. Motive to do
Arnab.
what? Motive to give out-of-turn spectrum, or motive to cause loss of 30,000 crores? The CBI is on record saying Raja has caused a loss of 30,000 crores. Does the government say that is right, or does the government say that is wrong? You see, we can't be in a situation where the police is saying one thing. It is like somebody saying that there has been a theft in your house. The police is saying your house has been stolen, and you are saying no, there has been no theft in my house.